When I'm considering safety, the first thing I probably would do would be to make sure that the resources I'm using are non-toxic. If you're doing an activity where you might need some safety equipment, you need to make sure that you've got it. For example, if you were using wire, then I would suggest safety glasses. Also, it's a good idea to look at risk assessment. So if need be, you might have a form that you'll have to fill out before you can complete an activity that may have some risk. In my art classes, I use old t-shirts as art smocks. They cover their whole uniform, they have no buttons, so they don't need to be done up and undone. I use art monitors in my classroom. They are the boss of their table. So I have 6 tables and each table has 1 art monitor. Every child at the table gets a turn. I use my class roll and tick that off so that I know who's had a turn and who hasn't. They are the bosses of their table, so if the table needs clean water, they are the only people who are allowed to go out to the tap, and that way there's no more than 6 people outside in one go. They hand out materials, they collect materials, and at the end of the lesson they'll wipe down the table. When my class comes in, we sit on the floor and we do the introductory activity together usually. Then they split off into their groups. I use my class roles to work out what my groups are. I have the same groups for the whole year so that they can go directly to their tables without wasting any time. I often put up a finished product so that the children can see what they're working towards, and I model each of the steps for them. I have all the children come to one table at the front of the classroom and I show them the process and the techniques that are used, and then they can go back to their table and continue. And then if need be, if there's another step, we'll come back and do that again. Sometimes when I'm modelling activities, I may have a series of posters, step by step, that build on each other so that the children can see the process and they know what they need to work towards. I keep a folio. Each child has their own folio and they collect all of their artwork. I use that as physical evidence of their work for assessment. Also, we do written work, so I keep all of those written responses and use those for assessment as well. Sometimes we take photos if it's an ephemeral sort of an artwork or an environmental one where the photograph is the actual evidence of the artwork, we keep that. Also, if need be, some children might have to orally explain their answers, so either a teacher aide could record those or often I do that myself. To start with the kids, I read a lot of books. I give them a lot of information. We look at Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander values and systems and groupings. And I look at these books. I'll show them to you. This one's Growing Up at Uluru. Desert Dreamings is a really good one as well. And they talk about Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander art and how in different areas you have different styles. So you can almost tell where a painting comes from because of the style. We look at the symbols that are used in Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander art as well. As long as you're respectful and don't copy their work, that's okay. You can use it for inspiration and to get ideas from, but we never copy it.